a third look at my signed books. Ahoy hoy everybody, and welcome to the third and final part of my look at my signed books. Parts 1 and 2 are available on this playlist. As I mentioned there, a lot of these I've bought just for the autograph. I haven't necessarily read all these books. Some of them I have, some of them I haven't. We'll carry straight on. Next up is Kelly book Close Up, and this was a Coles bookstore purchase. Nicely signed by Kelly. I did read this because I'm a big fan of Kelly. I mean, look at her, why wouldn't you be? This is starting to collapse. This could be fun in a minute. Okay. This is Roger Moore's Last Man Standing, Tales from Tinseltown. I haven't read this yet. Number 2,244, 3,000 signed copies. I think this was in the dying days of play.com, I think. I'm not going to do this. Let's move those and that can go there. Okay. This was a book I picked up. We went to White Hart Lane, Tottenham Hotspur's old ground, for a behind the scenes tour, and in the shop afterwards we had a look around and they were selling signed copies of Spurs legend Ricky Villa's autobiography. I have met Ricky, but for £12.99 or £12, reduced from £18.99. I thought sod it and picked that up. This is Sheila E.'s autobiography, The Beat of My Own Drum. Sheila E. had a lot of work with Prince, was engaged to him for a while. Big favourite of mine. This was bought directly from my website. I have read this, it's a good autobiography. And in her backwards writing, she's written God Bless Sheila E. Or S.E. Another one I have read, this is John Cleese's autobiography, So Anyway. I thought that was dust, but it's for feathers. Again, very good autobiography. John is a hero, definitely, and I have met him subsequently. This was a Coles bookstore purchase. This is Silent Bob Speaks, the collected writings of Kevin Smith. So this was a collection of various newspaper articles and blogs and all sorts of things that he'd written. Stuff and magazine articles and things like that. Signed, I think I bought this from his Silent Bob's Secret Stash. This is Keeping It Real, Jodie Marsh's autobiography. I'll just show you the back cover because it's a funny one where it's, so I think that's the front technically. Jodie's a funny one. I really liked her when she first emerged, her attitude, but you know, how she was trying to be the anti-Jordan, but then she tried to become more and more like Jordan. But I still have a soft spot for her, and it's a very interesting autobiography. This is Inside Little Britain by Matt Lucas and David Walliams and Boyd Hilton. So this is basically the story of how Little Britain came to be. Present. I think this was through their website. I think they were selling the signed ones. Have met subsequently, one of the nicest guys you will ever meet. This was Waterstone's purchase. I think this was for one in Milton Keynes again. This was In the Frame, Helen Mirren, My Life in Words and Pictures, which is exactly that. It's a sort of biography, shall we say, full of pictures and tales behind them and what have you. And this signed book plate, signed book plate. This was a Coles purchase. This was Classic Football Debates Settled Once and For All by Danny Baker and Danny Kelly. So Danny Baker, hero of mine. Danny Kelly is a regular compadre and respected sports journalist. And signed by them both. Bless its pointed little head, which is a reference to something, but I'm not sure what, by Danny Kelly, and just signed by Danny Baker. I have read that. It's a collection of little footballing debates. So, should footballers be allowed to bring flick knives onto the pitch? What's the best squad number to wear? was the greatest FA Cup final of all time. So, you know, all sorts of, some more serious than others. This is same way it's written. I can't read the title. Is it written better inside? No. Some Days. Yeah, Some Days. Yeah. Which is a book of song lyrics and photos by Susanna Hoffs of the Bangles fame. Bought this from her website, and is signed and dedicated. This is Kate Hudson's Pretty Happy, sort of a healthy, you know, living book, which I'm not at all interested in. I like Kate Hudson and I wanted her autograph, and this was a Coles bookstore purchase. This is a novel by the actress Tallulah Riley. Really like Tallulah. Haven't read this though, not really interested in her novel, but I wanted her autograph. I had written to her and never got a reply, so this was a handy way of getting her autograph. Probably best known still for being the lead in the two St. Trinian's remakes. This is Darcey Bussell by Darcey Bussell. This is a book of photos through her career. And you know, annotations about them, and that's signed. And this was bought through her website, I think. This was Coles bookstore. It's a Tim Vine bumper book of silliness. Love Tim Vine. I think he's just hilarious. And this is sort of a joke book, more or less, not actual. It's almost like the old, you know, the annuals that you used to get as a kid, you know, silly cartoons and things and little games, silly stuff like that. And signed up there, nearly there. This was from Forbidden Planet. I picked this up in their sale. This is 300 Rise of the Empire, The Art of the Film. So that was the sequel. The original 300 is the good one, if you like, with Gerald Butler and Lena Headey and what have you. Then this was the sequel with Green in it, which is alright, but nowhere near as good as the first one. And this is signed by... Ooh. It's all pictures, you know, it's The Art of the Film, one of those type of books. And pass the signed page, nope. Number 107 of a limited of 750 copies. It's signed by Naum Mauro, or whatever you say his name, who directed the sequel, and Zack Snyder, who produced the sequel and directed the first 300. So I think that was something silly like 20 quid. So it would have been foolish not to. This was a Christmas present that I pointed Mum in the direction of. It's a limited edition of The Art of... Well, it's not The Art of, it's Dark Shadows, the visual companion. So it's Tim Burton's film version of the old TV series Dark Shadows. And this is signed by the legend that is Tim Burton on a book plate on the inside. I think this was Coles. Yeah, I hardly recommend Coles bookstores. You get an email newsletter every Saturday lunchtime with all their latest signed books, but they specialise in signed books. They always come brilliantly wrapped, and normally RRP, so they're not cheap, but they're not mega expensive. Yeah, I hardly recommend them. That's colesbookstore.co.uk, I think. These I've shown recently. This is Eric Idle's autobiography, Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. This was definitely through Coles. And this is another Darcey Bussell. This is Darcey Bussell Evolved, which is basically a developed version of that other book. and this was a limited number of signed ones. Number 305 of 500. As I say, I've shown these very recently. Well, recent to when I've recorded this, depending on when this goes up. And finally, this I've shown before as well. Technically not a signed book, but you'll see what I mean. This was through Coles. This is the book Queen in 3D by Brian May. It's a brilliant book. I've not read it all, but flicking through and using the stereoscopic viewer on the pictures is amazing. And it came with a signed book plate, but they didn't actually attach the signed book plate. Have I? No, there it is. That's really nice. Yes, here we go. colesbooks.co.uk. I'll say heartily recommend them. Not sponsored, just a very happy customer of theirs for a number of years. So there you go. That is my signed books over 3 videos. I won't do regular updates specifically of signed books, but if you've watched my Ultra Love updates, any I get will be in there. I hope you've enjoyed these. From here we will probably move on to my folders full of 10x8s, which will take a long time, but should be interesting hopefully. And there's my other collection videos showing my DVDs and my music and eventually my Blu-rays. Yes, plus all my other videos. If you're not already a subscriber, feel free to do so. I hope you've enjoyed this. Like, comment, all that sort of stuff. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on another video. Bye.